Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 15. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and Yahweh will require that which is past. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory, call Allah, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and the freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing to edify the video. Shalom to the sincere Akim out there doing the will and the work of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, looking like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. To you, I say Shalom. This is the brother Yahweh Sop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, fellow servant coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua. And basically, I want to do a lesson on this article I took down, or I bookmarked a while ago. I'm just now getting to opportunity to actually do a video about it. Also, it's a script because I just learned the script about Revelations 13, about how Revelations 13 talks about that, that beast, proving that this is ancient Rome again, but at the same time, or modern day Rome, at the end of the day, Donald Trump made a statement. This was last year, though. It's out of Newsweek. It was dated October 17th, 2019. It says, historians and journalists defend Donald Trump after president is mocked on ancient Rome comments. And it says, President Donald Trump has come under fire for suggesting that the culture and values that bind the U.S. and Italy date back thousands of years to ancient Rome. The remarks were made during a Wednesday press conference with Italian President Sergio Mattarella at the White House. They prompted derision online from social media users who interpreted Trump's comment as suggesting the two nations had been aligned for thousands of years, even though both are less than 250 years old. But the thing is, when you really go, I was watching a documentary, I can't remember the name of it, but a few brothers actually did videos about this, which prompted me to do a video. At the end of the day, the philosophies is that's why, it tells you about Babylon in the scriptures. Babylon is going to have the nations drunk with the wine, but the wine is the philosophy. The philosophies of worshiping whatever deities you choose to. The many gods, the women over men. Putting a woman on a pedestal. Just all the atrocities that go on here. The homosexuality, which is nothing new. You had that going on in Rome. So that's the wine, basically. I was watching the documentary. It was talking about how, a lot of the laws, like the structure of law, was based off of Rome. The two-party system with a president, that's based off of Rome. A lot of the architecture is based off of, Roman architecture. So at the end of the day, this is like modern day Rome. It says, but others came to Trump's defense, suggesting that the president was in fact commenting on Roman culture, political and legal traditions that imbue all modern Western nations and governments, including the U.S. And that's the spirit. I just was saying this, and then it come out. And that's how you watch the spirit. You get what I'm saying? I just literally said that, not reading the article, and then the article brings out what I just said. Trump said Wednesday that the United States and Italy are bound together by a shared cultural and political heritage dating back thousands of years to ancient Rome. Many social media users jumped on Trump's comments, citing them as further example of the president's apparent historical illiteracy. But the thing is, as much as he plays stupid, that's just like when Bush was in office. Bush played stupid. Bush was far from stupid. That's why he did all what he did, and now he's sitting back kicking it after he done fucked. He made a statement. I can't remember the date of the actual statement. But he said that years later, from like with the 9/11 shit, he said the people were gonna look back and realize what he did. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how proud the devil was. You know, and he's the one that started the Patriot Act with them removing your freedoms. You removing your freedoms for the sake of feeling safe. When you know at the end of the safety is of the Lord. You know what I mean? Like you act like Salakia. The Western Roman Empire had collapsed. You know, it just made me think about something because like the reason why they don't have America all the way just like in the position they want because people still have guns. You get what I'm saying? Every nation that gave up their guns, look at the nation now. The Western Roman Empire had collapsed by 476, 1,300 years before the foundation of the U.S. Italy, too, is a very young country, having only been unified from rival states by 1871. In fact, Trump's assertion of a shared heritage between America and Italy culture is an accurate one, though he did make at least 12 other false claims during his meeting with his Italian counterpart. Though the polites government Rome and the North American landmass changed many times from antiquity to modern day, the political and cultural influence of the Roman Empire or Roman Kingdom, Republic, and finally Empire is ever present in modern democracy. The concept of elected officials, the separation of branches of government, and a wide range of legislative traditions began with Rome. Roman law, although much harsher than modern systems, also formed the basis of modern Western legal tradition. Culturally, Roman architecture, art, science, and technology, much of it in turn inspired by ancient Greek culture, because at the end of the day, it was the same kind of architecture because it was the same people, you know. Esau, Edom, has been ever present in the evolution of the Western world. Multiple historians and journalists came to Trump's defense. Michael Duncan, a best-selling author and podcaster who became famous for his work on ancient Rome, wrote on Twitter, "My scorching hot take is that what he said is basically fine." They repeating a lot of the same stuff, and that's pretty much what I want to get in the articles because basically it's showing you how they basically saying that they pretty much set up the same exact way. So you know, the main script that I want to get is in the book of Revelation. But before I get that, I'm going to get the book of Psalms, chapter 64. And I'm going to start at verse 8. Psalm 64, verse 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. And, you know, out of this devil's own mouth, you know what I mean, he's telling you, you know what I mean. That's why he made the statement about Iran, you know what I mean, that proud ass statement. Because when you really go into history, you'll find out that, you know, Alexander the Great is the one that conquered, you know, the Medo-Persians. And that's why he made that proud ass statement. And Iran are the Persians. You can go look that up. 1935 is when they changed their name from the Persians to the Iranians. It tells you in the scripture that no people is done away with. Yeah, it's just this white man or this red man, Salakia, has came and changed, you know, names and places and whatnot. That's why it tells you in scripture, don't remove the ancient landmarks. You know what I mean? Because he wants to try, you know, in the book of Luke, it talks about everything that's hidden shall be basically brought to light. You know what I mean? This devil is trying to hide who he is from the earth. That's why he's pointing at everybody but himself. He want to be everybody but who the fuck he really is. Verse 9, and all men shall fear and shall declare the work of Yahweh, for they shall wisely consider of his doing. that they may shoot in secret at the perfect, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. I mean, I really could have started way up above, because, this Psalm 64, verse 2, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. And who are the wicked? It tells you in the book of Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's the spirit, because that was one of the precepts I was going to bring out. Job 9 and 24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Salakia. I don't know why I did that. Bear with me for a second, Salakia.
Shalom, giving all praise to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rach HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation as always to the elect. And it's going to be real brief.
Salakia. It says, that's Satan coming with all the confusion. I mean, out of nowhere, somebody just start beating music. You know what I mean? Like, Satan is busy. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Who has covered the faces of the judges? Who has did what you call iconoclasm and changed the faces of the Lord and his son? Then it also tells you in the book of Malachi, the border of wickedness is Esau, Edom, So that's who the wicked. So when you see wicked mentioned in the scriptures, it's talking about a particular people. We'll go to the book of Revelations, because I ain't trying to make this too long, and I just got the breakdown for this. But in the book of Revelation, it talks about the chip. But before that, it's telling you about, I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, Revelation 13 and 1, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horn 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. Verse 2, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, and his seat and great authority. Verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And when you go into the heads, those horns and heads were nations. And the deadly wound that was healed was the ancient Roman Empire was wounded, but it's healed now because you got Babylon the Great, practicing all Roman philosophy, because this is Rome reincarnated. Because not only do people reincarnate, but kingdoms do as well. You got people that have been doing the same thing. They lot is to do the same thing, because the Most High, set it up that way. If you was a prophet in the past, you'll be a prophet today. If you was a 2/3 nigga, you a 2/3 nigga today. You know what I mean? Verse 4, and they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And basically, they gave power unto him, because the power, not only does this devil have the might of the sword, but, his philosophy is a weapon. Like I said, this man is the son of perdition. He's weaponized everything. You know what I mean? Like, this whole democracy is a weapon. Giving women the right to basically take the time to think about this. People have never been more unhappy, and they won't realize it. But when you take the time to think about it, before Esau came into the household and allowed women to be able to you got more unhappy married. You got people getting married knowing that, like, the institutions are all fucked up when you take the time to think about it. You know what I mean? Like, of course, ain't nothing perfect, especially down here. But what I'm saying is, you had less of a divorce rate before he came in and allowed, and then, like I said, the funniest part is these goofy ass women don't even get. He didn't do it to basically really put you on a pedestal. He did it to tax your income, because at one point in time, he couldn't tax both people in the household by giving you freedom and giving you allow. And then that's the funny part about it, to show you how everything is out of his own order. In the book of Isaiah, it talks about how he turned the things upside down. You know what I mean? He got men thinking they women, women thinking they men. He gave this woman power, and then women got the right to go to work and earn their own money, but they not happy. Because a woman doesn't really want to fucking have to work. They want to actually be taken care of. Then that's just the fucking truth. You could be the successful woman, and I guarantee you, I mean, if she being true and honest to herself, I've heard women say this shit. I'm gonna skip up though. It says, because the point was in verse 11. The point is this. It says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So when you go into that, so like I said, Revelation 13:3, when it talks about the deadly wound that was healed, you know, you go into ancient Rome fell. It was basically taken down by a man named Septimius Severus, who was a Jake. I got a book on Septimius, and it literally calls him the African, Roman African, or the African emperor. He was a Jake, you know what I'm saying? Because just like modern day Rome or Babylon got Jake in their military, Jake on their police force, you had Jake. That's why the elders or the elder apostles say that Cornelius was a Jake, you know, flat out, and that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like they go into the accounts of when Titus, it was a Jake general that went in to Masada, Salakia, I think, no, Jerusalem. They mentioned his name a few times, but I never wrote it down. And through the Spirit, I'm gonna hopefully write it down today after I do this lesson. But when the wound was healed, it was healed through the Renaissance. You get what I'm saying? Which Renaissance means rebirth. You know, and that's why you got, I mean, I literally brought out the article. You got modern day America keeping the traditions of ancient Rome alive and well, and that's how it's living today. And it's and you got to really take the time to think about this. And Slovakia and America has its foot. It's got embassies all around the world in every country. So their philosophy and the ancient Roman philosophy is being pushed all around the world. Verse 11, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And you see that now, that the two horns and speaking like a lamb is the political system. You know, the Republicans and them Democrats. Back in the ancient Roman Empire, it was called the plebeians and the patricians. You get what I'm saying? So they make it seem like with this democracy, they through democracy. That's why they say they bring these what they considered low level or savage nations, or poverty stricken nations. They bring democracy to them, and so that's them speaking like a lamb, speaking peace, peace. But then it speak like a dragon. I mean, you literally just saw him speak like a dragon when he assassinated that Iranian general. What was his name? Somali. But it tells you in scripture, when they say peace, peace, sudden destruction shall come, It's verse 12. And he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him. So the first beast was the ancient Roman Empire, and the second beast is, NATO and the EU. And America is part of that. It's the sword, actually. The three city state. You got London, you got Italy, with the Catholic Church, and you got America. That's their sword. You got London with the financial district. That's the financial system. You got like I said, Catholic Church, that's their religious system. And then you got, America. That's why all of those certain areas are like their own separate, like they're their own entity. You get what I'm saying? Like the laws in Washington D.C. don't apply to the rest of the country. That's why you got to go through. It's deep. The fucking devils, right? Verse 12, and he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of man. Verse 14, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. And, some of the miracles is those left hand, his left hand sorcery. I mean, this internet is a miracle. When have you ever before been able to instantly, like you can instantly talk to a person that's 3,000 miles away. Shit, now you got the little fucking, like the Yahoo, not Yahoo, but Facebook Messenger where you can actually video chat. So, those are some of the miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image, which is a way of life. You got everybody that want to come to America and live this so-called American dream. But Donald Trump also made another statement when he first got in office. He said the American dream is dead. But that's the image, you know what I mean? This philosophy, this way of life, image of the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. So, that ancient beast, Rome, the philosophy of it is alive now through America. And the whole plan is to, like I said, because if you go back to verse 12, it says, "It causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed." So like I said, that's why you got this, such a vain society. You get what I'm saying? Like. So, I just wanted to bring that out because, like I said, when Donald Trump made that statement, it's multiple scriptures on reincarnation, but I just came across the breakdown of, Revelations 13, not knowing there was that much meat in there because, what people tend to use Revelation 13 for is for the mark of the beast, And when you really go into history, if you really have done any research on the RFID chip, that was created here. The brother, that's the spirit. The brother just put in our group chat about how I think it was on CNN or CC. It was one of the Let me get it real quick. But basically, talking about the mark of the beast, though. It says Amazon reportedly. It's Amazon. Amazon reportedly wants to turn your hand into a credit card. And that's the spirit, because I just ordered something from Amazon. So, basically, that technology was thought of and created here. Yeah, it's being pushed in other countries. So all the other countries followed after suit of America, implementing that into society. And, anybody that takes that mark is going to be destroyed. It tells you that in the book of Revelation, chapter 14. So, with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory. Call Allah, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth for faith and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willing, was an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad that believe in this truth. To you, I say shalom and Lord willing, I'm able to come with another lesson. So, till next time, shalom, shalom, and the Bible ball.